What's going on, guys? Back again with another debate. Today, we're going back to wrestling. Last week, we stepped away from wrestling for a little bit. But today, we're going to go back to it. Today, we're going to be doing top 10 greatest promo talkers of all time. So, this is not promo packages before matches. This is people who cut promos, building up matches, making the storyline a lot better. I'm gonna let my guests introduce themselves first, and then we'll go ahead and jump right into it. So we'll start with Conrad, and then Kyron, you go
What's
after
going
him.
on, everybody? Conrad Cushman from the Everything Pro Wrestling Podcast. You guys have probably heard my spiel a million times, so I'm not going to say it. Check out the podcast. Check out the YouTube channel. Malik, thank you for having me on once again, my friend.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Kyron.
What's up? It's Kyron Chase. I'm back. You know who I am. I've been on the show plenty of times. I'm just ready to get started.
All right, so let me see. I'm sure I got all my numbers written down. Okay, I got 10 written down. So before I'm gonna let my guests start because I'm always the one to start. Anybody want to throw any names out there? Anybody want to be the first one to throw a name out there? I'm gonna let you guys throw some ones out there. So whoever wants to go first, doesn't matter. If anybody wants to throw somebody out there, go ahead.
The only person I'm really gonna, we're gonna have this Paul Heyman.
Okay, Paul Heyman. Well, go ahead. Give your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I could literally call Paul Heyman the guard of the microphone for a reason. I think Paul Heyman is one of the only people that can literally. I think he's the best at selling the match per se. For example, WrestleMania 31 between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, no one's looking forward to it. Yet Paul Heyman promos week after week leading up to that match got me like, okay, this is gonna probably might be good. Same thing he did for the SummerSlam match against Undertaker because Paul Heyman is the master of selling the match to you. Hell, just watch his promos at his promo ECW One Night Stand in 05 when he just shot on everybody, or watch his promo he had against Eric Bischoff literally a couple weeks right before that. I think Paul Heyman has to be in this list.
Colonel, what do you think?
Yeah, my brain is processing this. It's churning right now because I think Paul Heyman's promos as of late have been very rinse and repeat though at the same time, but overall his body of work has always been very good. That's tough, man. Malik, feel free to jump in at any point in this because I'm going to be staggered a little bit on this one. He caught me with a good punch right here.
Heyman is a good mention.
I don't know if I'm ready to put him on there though right away. Heyman's good though, man. Like his promos to rally the troops or get someone into something has always kind of delivered.
Hell, look at his promo. You want to talk about Heyman promos? Look at his promo, the SmackDown before Survivor Series 01, his work shoot on Vince. You believe, listen to what Heyman said to Vince's face. You believe everything Heyman said came from the bottom of his heart. And let's be honest, everyone says the Invasion storyline was terrible, but don't act like Heyman's promo didn't get you a little like, oh, like this is a great promo. And him talking about, all the things Vince did to everyone, how he kept people down, how he stole people's ideas, how he promised his father he wouldn't compete and then ended up competing and ran everyone out of business. I personally think Heyman's my personal favorite person on the mic ever because he's one of the only people who I would just sit down and just listen to because he's not just someone like a talk. He's like a lyrical wordsmith, if you ask me. That's why I think Heyman's I give you that. Heyman's work as of late has not been as strong. But I chalked it up to more of he hasn't been given anything interesting to do because the storyline between Brock and Seth just isn't there. And literally
restrictions on what you can and cannot say.
Like I personally say
Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I say Paul Heyman should be on this list.
I think the only reason this guy kind of stale is because he's with Brock Lesnar. I mean, like he comes down to the same stuff, like Brock Lesnar this, Brock Lesnar that, blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of old here and there, but I mean, I think I'm gonna put Paul down for the mentions because I want to put him on the list. Don't get me wrong, he definitely deserves to be on the list. There's no question. But it's like I don't know, man. The first one.
Yeah, he came out the
gate tough, with someone that was like, yeah, Heyman's a good mention, man. Heyman's a really good mention. Conrad, you got anybody you want to throw out first?
Mine's a layup, I think. We got to go with the People's Champ, The Rock.
That's not even a debate. But I'm pretty sure we all can agree The Rock is going to be on this list.
I sure hope so, but I don't know. Some people say otherwise with The Rock. I think The Rock's one of the greatest of all time on the microphone.
See, here's one thing about The Rock. I love The Rock.
Entertaining.
Go ahead, Malik.
He's the most entertaining superstar of all time, if you ask me. I mean, we're talking about charisma, funny, like making you laugh, can make you hate him, can make you look, dude. He can do everything, man. Like, it's just, dude. Hollywood Rock, dude. The stuff he was doing, man. This is great comedy stuff, dude. Coming out with, like, I remember when he came out with doing what was it, the rock concert, the whole rock concert thing coming out. This dude, greatness stuff right there. This is great stuff, dude. He's so
Tell
good at
LeBron
like,
James don't get drafted to Cleveland.
or the promo he cut in Toronto, like the promo he cut in Toronto after he beat Hulk Hogan. Like, come on, dude. Like,
oh, what was that?
The Rock
has come back to run his mouth on all your candy passes. I remember that. Was
because the Maple Leafs suck.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I don't like. Yeah, I remember I brought up Brian Zane's 2 top 8s, and The Rock was number 1 of like the late 90s to now, and he even said by a landslide, people consider The Rock the best of all time. And I don't think The Rock is the best of all time, but I think The Rock is, I mean, obviously he's the most charismatic wrestler of all time. I mean, for crying out, this is even I think Alana stupid. The man got the phrase "poontang pie" over. I don't think anyone else could do that. I think The Rock should definitely be on this list.
The Rock, the great part about it is if you can remember some of the promos, I can remember him singing stupid songs like "They kicked that ass and they rattled my brains."
Too much of that would drive a man insane.
Yeah,
you got the blues, but you won't lose because goodness gracious, great. But I know that whole song he sung.
Dude, The Rock is a fool. Like you just get lost. Even the stuff with Hurricane, I thought was funny. Remember that? He's like,
that stuff is
H on your chest. What is that? The Hamburglar?
I know that the Scorpion King has a tiny ding-a-ling. The way The Rock screamed when he said that was hilarious.
He's just the one guy, dude. Like when he shows up, he's like, "All right, go out there and just do your thing." You ain't gotta hand him a script. Like, "Go, you're gonna be working with this. Is what you're gonna do tonight, and to go out there and do whatever you gotta do. You got this much time." And just like, dude, this is like, don't need to give him anything, man.
Versatility is why he got into Hollywood, just on the promos.
That's very true. So yeah,
I think, dude. I mean, he's just overall, dude. He's got to be on the list, man. I mean, like I said, The Rock can do everything. Especially, he can get serious in moments. He can make you laugh. He can make you just hate him. He can make you like. He can do everything, man. It's just like I would definitely put The Rock on the list.
I would too.
Okay, so we got The Rock on the list. Is there any other ones you want to throw out there? Conrad, Kyron, anybody else?
Yeah, I got one. And Conrad, I think Conrad's wearing the shirt Randy Savage.
Ooh,
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah, Randy Savage is. I mean, he's my favorite wrestler of the '80s, but I think Randy Savage is one of the best talkers. I mean, hell, you buy his DVD. That's like literally like a whole special disc dedicated to some of his best promos. Like look at his promos leading up to certain matches. Randy Savage, it's not just a voice; it's his intensity when he talks. That's why I think Randy Savage should definitely, be on this list.
I agree.
Dude, I can't believe that. I can't believe it's actually his real voice, though. That's crazy. Like, you would never guess it's his real voice.
Didn't they say that they went to him like by a pool area and they were like, "You don't have to do your voice, man." He's like, "What are you talking about?" And they were like, "Oh, that's how he talks."
Actual voice, like this is your voice.
Even just based on his stuff from the '80s, though, with Mean Gene Okerlund, where he would come in with like different props.
The cream of the crop.
Yes.
Cup of coffee. Yesterday's newspaper.
He had the trash bucket at one time. Macho Man is freaking amazing on the microphone. He can sell you a match. He should have definitely been a top guy longer in the WWF than he was.
You want to know one of his best promos that literally I didn't even know about until I played the W2K14 game? Is a promo he cut on Hogan right before WrestleMania 5. Basically saying,
Yes. I was going to say that one too.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely like you look at the intensity in his eyes when he cut that promo.
Hulk Hogan.
You said you don't know where the Macho Man is coming from?
That's some good stuff, man. So what do you guys think? You guys, Macho Man should be on the list?
I think Macho Man's on the list to me.
All right, I'll put him down on the list.
So we got The Rock and we got Macho Man.
What about Ric Flair?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
That Royal Rumble 2 promo alone, when he finally wins the belt, and he's like, "With a tear in my eye, this is the greatest moment of my life."
Yeah, I think
dude, he's got, especially back in like the NWA days when he's just cutting promos about what he's minding. It's just like back in the day, a lot of like my uncle, like, he's from that era. He was like, dude, everybody wants to be Ric Flair. You're wearing the shoes, the custom made. Everybody wants to be this guy. Got all the good stuff, the ladies and everything.
He was the man ladies wanted to be with and guys wanted to be.
Yeah.
Well, here's a question. If we put Ric Flair on this list, do we have to look at the other side of the coin? Do we put Dusty Rhodes on this list?
Dusty Rhodes, yeah, because Dusty Rhodes, I was going to say his name next, so.
Well,
Dusty Rhodes was
Dusty Rhodes was
list.
Is this a WWE list or are we talking about all wrestling?
I would include those two though. I mean, they're not WWE, but I mean they're WWE legends, I guess you would say, because I mean they're known for kind of their stuff. They're stuff for WWE, so I mean, I would include them into it. I mean, because we're talking about the best promos.
Flair had some good promos even later in his career, though. That promo with Shawn Michaels when they came out, and Shawn was like, "I don't want to fight you," and he said, "Look, they love that dog, Old Yeller." And Ric Flair slaps the tape out of that man's mouth. Oh, Yeller! Oh, yeah, Yeller!
I got you, Old Yeller. What do you think about that,
dude? Even the promo when he like split himself open when he's hitting himself in the head and he's making himself bleed and stuff, dude.
I just watched that a couple weeks ago. Crazy.
I'm like, oh my god, dude. These promos are intense. I think he's got to be on the list. I mean, like again, like they may not be just strictly WWE, but we're talking about the best promo talkers of all time. That he's got to be on the list. We're talking about the best Mike ever.
I think Ric Flair should be on the list. But like I said,
what about this? Get into Dusty Rhodes then. What about Dusty Rhodes then?
See, if Ric Flair's the yin, then Dusty Rhodes is the yang, because they're pretty much the two complete opposite in every way. But the way when like Dusty could talk in different ways, and you believe everything he said came from the bottom of his heart. Like just go back and watch his Hard Times promo. I mean, look at the way he can connect with the fans. It wasn't just that wrestling, but it was that talking that got, that made that feud between Dusty and Rick so iconic.
I think Dusty even did a good job of selling merchandise and stuff in the 80s when he was wearing the polka dots. There's a video package of him selling, I can't even say it the way he said it, but it was like sip cups. It was like, Dusty Rhodes selling sip cups. And he was out there, and people were buying these things from him. I'm like, yo, this dude is a fool, man. He could sell you anything. And even later in his career, when he would do like the match with Randy Orton, or they had the Authority angle with Goldust and Cody, which I absolutely love that match. I was there live for that one. They were out there, and remember when Stephanie tried to outshine him, and she did something and just put his hand up in front of her face, and she got angry that he did that? He's not going to be outshined on the microphone. Like, he's old. They don't play that stuff.
That was actually a really good promo he cut on Stephanie McMahon too. That was a very good promo. I mean, and I'm not even that huge a Dusty Rhodes fan because I never really watched the NWA stuff, but I respect him enough to say he should be on this list.
I think Dusty put in his work even in WWE.
So we got Dusty.
So what do you think, all right? List?
I say yeah to Dusty.
All right. Yeah, we already got 4. All right, we got Rock, Savage, Flair, and Dusty.
One guy I got to mention. What about Roddy Piper?
Oh, I was gonna bring up Roddy Piper myself. I think Piper is probably arguably the best WWE talk in the 80s because, like, the man was like complete chaos. You don't know what he's about to say, and sometimes he didn't even know what he was about to say. But a big thing Piper, you got to give Piper credit for is he's the one that popularized the talk show host thing. Think of it this way: if Piper wasn't so good at that, we might not have gotten so many talk show segments we get today if Piper wasn't so good at it. I think Piper should be on this list, even though I'm not a big fan of him blacking up. He made it work. He made that work. I think Roddy Piper should be on this list. Yes.
Roddy Piper is probably one of the best heels from the 80s. Some of the crazy things he said, you still remember. The whole, I'm so fast that when I spit in the wind, I can duck and it'll hit the old lady behind I can face. And Hulkamania, talking all the crap for WrestleMania 1. The stuff he said about Mr. T going into WrestleMania 2. There's so much good stuff from Piper. And even later in his career, they would call him in to do Piper pit statements just to get people over.
Sorry, yeah. I'll tell you one of my favorite segments he did. This is later WWE. Remember then it was right before Survivor Series 2010, and Cena was in a crossroads of what to do at Survivor Series. He's refereeing the Randy Orton and Wade Barrett match. And basically, if Wade Barrett won the title, Cena wouldn't be in Nexus anymore. But if Randy won, he'd be fired. And I remember he was on Piper's Pit that Monday, and the promo Piper cut, basically saying, and he was like so serious when he said, there's a lot of people back in the day that didn't get to hold that title. And if you honestly help Wade Barrett get something he doesn't deserve, you're spitting in the face of every wrestler that didn't hold it. And I'm telling you, do not spit in my face. Like that promo, like even when I was 10, that gave me goosebumps. Even listening to it now, it's still an incredible promo. And I think Piper should definitely be on this list.
They gave him a Piper.
There's another one he had with Cena. There's another one he had with Cena like in 2012 before he's facing The Rock, when he was like trying to get him to turn like the heelish whatever, and he was like saying like you gotta let it out, you gotta let them know how you really feel. And that was like the first time I was like, dude, is John Cena like, is he gonna like just snap and just beat this guy up, or is he gonna like Piper? I think Piper has to be on the list too. I mean, he's
I do
one
too.
of the best heels.
They must agree with that.
So Piper's on the list. Are we putting Piper on the list?
I got Piper on this list.
I got Piper too. We're going so fast we may end up having to rank these for this show.
See, this is the hard thing, and this is why Brian split his list into two parts, because we got 5 people out of 10, and we got 4 from the 70s and 80s. This is the problem. Like, this is a big problem because I want to get some people of 2000s and late 90s in, and I still think Heyman should be in this list. But
yeah, we still Heyman too. Yeah.
I mean, we still got the following people we haven't even brought up yet, and I know it's like Austin. We got Austin. We got Angle. We got Cena. We got Michaels. Who else? Hell, Vince. Raven. Who else? Who the hell else? Mick Foley. Come on, like we got some people we haven't even brought up. We already 5 people in.
I think this is where it's going to get muddy a little bit now. Well, 1 or 2 are still probably guaranteed, but I think it's going to get muddy here.
One guy I gotta mention too. I don't know if I put him on the list, but I always love this mic word. Jake the Snake, man. Jake the Snake always been on the mic too.
Another person I was thinking about. Jake the Snake? I honestly was thinking about Jake. I really was, because
Jake the Snake, dude.
Exactly. Like, here's one thing about Jake the Snake, and Brian's the only person I've ever heard bring this up. Is his promo style was so different from everyone else back then. Because back then it was just a matchup who could shout the loudest. But Jake didn't talk like that. He talked calmly and quietly, and like basically try to see you in, then attack you with the venomous of a snake. Hell, one of my favorite promos, and this isn't even that long, and this wasn't even a long promo. It was just a few seconds, but it's so good. That was to face Randy Savage on Saturday Night's Main Event, and this is literally like a month after he slapped Elizabeth, and his promo he cut, he said, "If I see Elizabeth, we're gonna have a little bit more fun." Like, oh man, like you hate him, but you love him at the same time. I personally don't know if I want to have Jake on this list. We already got 5 spots, but Jake the least deserves honorable mention.
I think Jake's on this list, and not for the "You Want to Play 21" promo.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring it up, but I knew someone was going to bring it up. I didn't want to bring that up.
It's how Botchamania's like intro. Jake the Snake is the man, though. Jake enhances any segment that he's in. Think about it. He's another one of those guys that never competed for the main title. He never won a belt out of either in WWE. Like, the dude was so good that he could control the crowd just speaking calmly, and people like had to listen. They're like, hold on, Jake the Snake's talking. What's he saying? And he would go in. And the Macho Man, Miss Elizabeth stuff was some of his best work, in my opinion, too.
Dude, we already got 5 spots, though, man. There's some other people that we got to talk about too. So
come on, dog! You ain't about to do this to Jake.
That's the problem with only having 10 spots, Conrad.
Yeah, I think we got to come back to Jake. We got to come back to Jake the Snake. Cause there's still other people that we still got to come back to Heyman too. So it's like,
hell, you want to talk about people we haven't brought up? How about some more managers? Like, I mean, I don't think we're gonna have them in this list, but I think they at least deserve a mention. Bobby Heenan, Jim Cornette, both deserve mentions.
Honestly, with the 3 managers that you have brought up, those are the 3 greatest managers, in my opinion.
I agree with that too.
Yeah.
And like, all 3 of them are different in their talking, but yet all 3 are so good. Like, I mean, I personally, of the 3, I'm fighting for Heyman. I think Heyman definitely deserves to be on this list between those 3. But I think, like, not bring those up. Like, send me a wrestler we haven't brought up who at least deserve mentions. Hell, one person, and I don't even like him that much. Hogan at least deserves a mention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Hogan took me up. Hogan was. I mean, I wouldn't put him on the list, me personally.
Well,
but
let's break them down then. Who do you want to talk about first? Out of all those people you mentioned,
Austin.
Listen,
Stone
all I gotta
Cold?
say for him is you thumped your Bible and that didn't get you nowhere. Listen, I'll tell you a funny ass story that I'll never forget. So I'm watching WWF back in the day. I don't even remember. I'm in my living room. I got all my wrestlers sitting there. I got the ring flipped over. I used to play out the matches that I'm watching. And I'm sitting there watching, and my mom's in the kitchen. I hear the sink going. I can remember this like it was yesterday. And Stone Cold is cutting that King of the Ring promo. Like my mom's friend taped it for me. I got it in and I'm watching it. I'm like, oh. And then he said, yeah. And then he said, look at him. He thumped the Bible, didn't get him anywhere. He talked about his Psalms. He talked about his John 3:16. But Austin 3:16 says, I just whipped your ass. My mom, all I heard was the sink stop. And she said, what did he just say? And I went to Catholic school, so it was already GG. And she was like, what did he just say? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not repeating it. I know that. That is a great promo. People get my mom to say, what did he just say? Like, I never thought about that back then. Stone Cold Steve Austin is the man. He got over the what chant. I'm trying to think of some other promos. Even the hilarity of his promos when he went heel with Vince, Kurt backstage, Jimmy Crack Corn. There's a bunch of good stuff. I'm sure you get good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the very few. He's one of the very few people in wrestling where it's like he cut the promo, and he's just saying like, and when he says like I'm gonna whoop your ass, you're like, oh shit, Stone Cold gonna whoop his ass. Like Stone Cold's one of the people you feel like he's really gonna whoop his ass. You know what I mean? So I like Stone Cold. What do you think, Kyron?
I mean, I think Austin should be on this list. I mean, for a similar reason. I mean, think of it this way. Like I said in the WrestleMania video yesterday, Austin was the biggest star in WWE history. I don't want to hear Hogan. Austin made more money than Hogan did for Vince. And it wasn't just his wrestling ability, which was there, obviously, but it was his charisma, his the way he talked. And the thing about Austin, he never spoke an innuendo or spoke like he spoke like as an angry person. You believed everything he ever said. I think Austin should be on this list.
Yeah, I like the promo. Then the promo I like one of my favorite promos too. The one that they have with The Rock too when they're sitting backstage building up the WrestleMania 17 match, and he's like, I need this, Rock, more than you'll ever know. I need this more than you're just like, man, this is like.
We didn't even
Stone Cold, look, what do you think?
With them. Do you remember when they sung like the songs together?
Yeah, the
Margaritaville. Like you could get away with stupid stuff like that. There was a segment on Monday Night Raw that people watched. Them singing a song together.
What do you think, Conrad? Do you think Stone Cold should be on the list?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, one phrase being Austin 3:16 says I just whipped your ass became the highest selling shirt in WWE history. And it also was Austin 3:16.
Yeah, be careful. We only got 4 spots left, so we got 4 spots left. We got 6 filled already.
I'm gonna take him. I don't care. It's going down. So
pick wisely. You better pick wisely before you say the guy should be on the list. If you're for sure, you better be for sure who you want on the list, and who you don't.
Don't worry, I got my sacrifices ready.
All right, so we got Stone Cold. Who else did you want to mention, Kyron? There's I think somebody else should.
Y'all can throw somebody out.
Kyron, who do you got then? You said you got some
CM Punk.
I know.
Yeah, dude, I was gonna say CM Punk too. I'm not gonna lie, CM Punk was one of my guys doing the mic, especially at the end. Especially at the
microphone. He asked for that thing for months, and when he finally cut that pipeline promo, I fell asleep. Like someone had to wake me up after and say, "Dude, get on YouTube right now and watch this." Watch it.
One of my favorite segments ever, bro, is the one with CM Johnson, that contract signing when they're just going back and forth. It's just like, bro.
You cut out, Malik.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. One of my favorite segments they did was the one with him and John Cena when they did that contract sign for Money in the Bank, and they're just going back and forth and cutting promos to each other to do this. It's like, bro, he's like one of the very few. He's like one of the people that can go with it with John Cena on the mic. He's like, look, you're not gonna. you're not gonna just bury me on the mic. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not Roman Reigns. You're not gonna get the better of me on the mic. You can try to, but I'm gonna come back with the fire every time, bro. So it's like
Triple H
bro,
is really
CM Punk.
good too, though. Do you remember all that where he was like, "Oh, you're looking for your balls during your wife's purse." I was just like, "Oh, dang."
Yeah,
even I remember the promo.
The Chaperone DVD. He was like, "Oh, where's your movie, Punk?" And he started laughing. He's like, "Oh, mine went straight to DVD, just like yours." I was like, "Dang, bro."
You know, like I look at Punk like
one of my favorite other promos is the one he cut on before Mania.
What'd you say?
The one he cut on Jericho right before Mania 2, though, like when Jericho, when he was cutting the one on Jericho was coming out and he was saying like, "You're calling yourself the best in the world because you want to be like me," and then CM Punk is like, he started going in. Even this, he was saying on John Laurinaitis, dude, like when he was just going in on John, you just felt bad for going. He's like, "Oh my god, dude, he's just tearing this guy apart." But I think CM Punk's even like the stuff he's doing with The Rock, dude. Like remember that long ass promo he cut on Raw before The Rock even came out and that long he cut like that, dude. It had to be at least like 15 minutes, bro. That promo segment he had, that long ass promo he had. It was like right before the match of the Royal Rumble.
The long classic. Your arms are too short to box with God.
Yeah, dude. Like the promo he was cutting, that promo was long as hell, dude. Before The Rock even came out, like before he even came out and interrupted him, that he was in the ring by himself for just like a good 10 minutes just talking.
Yeah, I think like
he's got to
like his
even like his. Go ahead.
I would say I think like Punk, even though like the pipe bomb is obviously the first thing people that like look at when it comes to Punk. Like you gotta remember, that's a promo that brought a lot of people back into wrestling. Like a lot of people stopped watching that came back to watch wrestling. And Malik, that promo that we bring up with him and Cena with the contract signing, I was about to bring that up because I look at it as like not the same thing, but the same way I look at Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes. They're literally both great on the mic, but they're literally two opposites. They're both two sides of the same coin. You got Punk pretty much saying you're a dynasty, and John pretty much calling Punk out, and in a way saying all the Christian people have him. He pretty much called it out, like, "Oh, I should look into my heel persona more. I should add to the 5 moves of doom." But yet, they both. I look at both Cena and Punk. I think both of them should be on this list. They're both two of my favorite talkers of this era because Punk and Cena, literally, those two in the Chicago crowd made that match at Money in the Bank a 5-star match because of their promo work in the crowd and their in-ring work. Like that's how good I think CM Punk and John Cena both are.
Even before Punk started doing the pipe, even the stuff when he was like in the Straight Society, dude, I always enjoyed that stuff when he was in the Straight Society, cutting those promos. Even though they really didn't do much, when every time he came out on the mic and cut promos, maybe I was always just paying attention to what he was saying because it's like, but
the man got to cut a promo during the Royal Rumble when he was
I forgot about that.
That was amazing stuff.
I think he's on the list though, man.
That's number 7, bro. He's got to be on there.
Oh my god, all time though. Yeah. He's really good on the mic. Yeah, I gotta put him on. All right, so Kyron said John Cena's got to be on the list, so we're just going to talk about John Cena. We'll throw John Cena's name out there. Kyron, why John Cena? You got to defend
Okay. Putting aside anyone's personal opinion.
I can agree with you though.
No, hear me out. Putting aside any personal opinions, anything like that. The man with the flag bearing WWE for over 10 years for a reason. I mean, think of this way. There wasn't a lot think of this way. He started off with no gimmick. It was a Dr. Thuganomics that made him. And then even throughout his career, even though he did get the occasional stupid thing to say, I mean, even then when Cena was on and he was dead ass serious, few could touch him on the mic. This is a dude who, I'm not saying he's better than Rock or he's as good as The Rock, but he went toe-to-toe with The Rock leading at WrestleMania 28. And here's the thing that some backstage news, that WWE originally didn't even want Cena to respond to The Rock. They wanted Cena not to say anything back. And Cena asked, no, let me say stuff back because he knew what would make the match better. And even if just look at his stuff over the last few years. His promo work with AJ Styles, his promo work with Roman Reigns. Those are the type of promos that are very hell. He and The Miz turned a match no one was looking forward to and gave it some of the best build because he and the Miz's promo ability. That's another guy we should give a mention to, the Miz. So I think because you look at all the time Cena has helped build a match off of great promos. I think Cena should be in this list.
A lot of people can hate on John Cena all they want to do, but on that mic, bro, he's untouchable on that mic, bro. You can get that man a mic, and he doesn't need a script. He don't need anything. He will go out there. Like I said, dude, I felt bad for that Roman. Dude, you can't be like Roman Reigns when you talk with John Cena, bro. You got to come with it, bro. You got to be ready. You got to be able to come back because like he will bury you. Like,
he destroyed. Did Roman no favors. I mean, I'm not no Roman Reigns hater, but he's not that strong in the mic. And they thought he was gonna go toe to toe with John Cena. Come on now. Literally, Cena destroyed him on 2 separate weeks. The first one was when he told him, I could do this better part-time than you ever could do it full-time. Then the very next week, he told him, no mercy pitched me like a drug test, Holmes. You ain't getting past me. There is nothing Roman could do after those 2 lines that said he can come back and on a mic in this feud. Now, Roman did win the match, obviously, but on the mic... Because
I don't lose this match, so I ain't tripping, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but it's just like, dude, Another thing with the Rock thing, bro. I don't know if you guys know remember this, but like he called The Rock out for having his promo written on his arm when he was like something about a tattoo or something like that. He was like nice tattoo or something. Dude, that's like coming at The Rock. Like
no. Malik, what he said was
like, oh, okay. So this is what
he said. He said The Rock decided to stay home and read words off a teleprompter. A teleprompter. You said you could see the words in his glasses. Rewind it back. I caught him. Only time you see me, homies, when I'm whipping that rock bottom. Yeah, I remember that. But like from the Dr. Thugonomics to what he's doing now, and I think John Cena definitely should be on this list. Conrad.
I don't know if I'd put him on my list, to be honest. I think he deserves to be. I think he deserves to be in the mentions, though. There's somebody that comes. For me, somebody I got to go back to.
I am probably be the weird one here. I like some of Cena's stuff, but when I think of his whole body of work, there's certain things that I will never forget. The bad promos, the poopy comments, and him not being serious at times with people he probably could be. And it wasn't even funny or engaging like The Rock was when he did it. Cena let me down a couple times. To bring up some positive points, I loved John Cena on SmackDown when he was the Doctor of Thugonomics, finding ways to incorporate hip-hop freestyle into his promo work, going against guys like Big Show, Kurt Angle, and he enhanced them at the same time while doing the promos. And sometimes he would have to cut raps back. And I thought Kurt Angle had one of his funniest moments out there with John Cena doing that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, Cena would be we have to revisit this, but I'm not kick him out right away. He's not on my list right now either.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said, Conrad. Especially and this comes from who is a Cena fan. I did used to get a lot of upset when he used to say stuff like that didn't make sense, or stuff that wasn't funny, or stuff that wasn't looking for, or things like not being serious when he should have been. Now, when he was serious, he was fucking on. But that's the problem. Like, and here's one thing I didn't even know. There has been times where WWE's written worse jokes for John that he just flat out didn't say. So just imagine the stuff he doesn't say that they tired of getting to say. Because when you're someone who has the seniority, you can actually like remix your promos up, and he's done that a lot. Like, for example, the stuff with the Miz, that was some great stuff. I don't care what anyone says. And I literally can remember I was not looking forward to that match at all. But seeing the Miz got me into because of the build-up. And I mean, and speaking of mentions, I think the Miz should get a mention.
When he called the Miz a puss, though, dude, that's what got me. I was like, whoa. Like,
yeah, I wasn't ready for that.
I think
that John Cena doesn't
that's
say.
Another problem, though, with today's wrestlers. I mean, my question is, how produced is Roman Reigns at this point? We've had a decade now of guys who just understood, like, here, this is what's written for you. Say, here, this is what's written. And maybe that's why Roman couldn't go toe with Cena.
But another big problem.
Sometimes, out there, I mean, wrestlers go off the fly a lot sometimes, so it's not like he couldn't go off the fly. I think, honestly, I think he might have got. It looked like
WWE box that you don't get out of. Like, I don't know if he wrestled before this. I haven't seen any of that stuff. He's not like an indie darling who we got to see go out and cut promos. He was stuck in that bubble from the beginning of time, and he's learned how to do things the WWE way.
I mean, John Cena has too, but he's got. I don't know. Like John Cena said in an interview one time, he said you got to come out that shell sometimes. Like sometimes you're gonna have to take risks like that. You're gonna have to go off, and sometimes you get in trouble for it. Sometimes you may not. It may be like he said they hand him stuff all the time. He's like, well, we're gonna redo this, and then it's just like you go out there, and then if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But if it works, then what are they gonna say? They can't say it worked.
In that same phrase, this doesn't work for me.
Then Kurt Angle, I remember Kurt Angle said something very similar, like when he said, I think he said that in his Hall of Fame speech, basically, take chances with your character. And like I remember when John was on Jericho's podcast for the network, he even talked about how at the time he didn't have much of a personality. He didn't really have anything to speak of. But he was like, it was on a bus, and a lot of wrestlers was doing like freestyle rapping, and Eddie Guerrero was one of them, by the way. And John said how he jumped because he used to do rapping when he was in high school or whatever. So he jumped in and said some stuff, and then I think Stephanie McMahon was on that bus, and that impressed him, and that's what he got the Dr. Thuganomics character was the first real character John had. And let's be honest, the Dr. Thuganomics was an over ass character.
And at that time, hip hop was very popular. Like I even used to rap back then, trying to battle rap against people, do a bunch of different things. It was cool to do that. And the chain thing, people say they hate the spinner belt, but I always have to remind them when John Cena came out with that, what was the hottest chain in rap music? It was the G Unit spinner chain. That's exactly why they had that belt. It fit the times, and I thought it was cool when he first came out with it. Was it dated by 2010? Absolutely, but it was still dope when he had it.
I liked his WWE title design, but I didn't like the US title design.
Even when he had the US belt, it just made him sit out different from everybody else. You know what I mean? The character, it fit the character, like the whole character. Like he's like, I'm not the corporate champion. Like I'm not wearing this title. This is what I like. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think John Cena's gonna be in the. We gotta come back to him though. I don't know if I can for sure put him on the list because we only got 3 spots left. So I gotta think about that strongly. That's gotta be. That's why we should
split this list in half. You said what?
What about Jericho? What do you guys think about Chris Jericho?
Oh man, obviously I think Jericho should be on this list. I mean, there's a reason his run from 2016 to 2017, I was calling him the greatest man that ever lived because literally he entertained me every week. Where it was hell, I'm gonna get to everything, but I'm just gonna stick to 2016 for a second. In 1 year, this man got the following phrases over. You just made the list. It. Stupid idiot. Drinking in man. He got the crowd to go crazy over a list, scarves, and a plotted plan for crying out loud. Jericho in 2016, that's probably, even though I think his best run is 08, obviously. 2016 Jericho is my personal favorite Jericho. Literally, I don't think it was a single time he was on screen that year that I didn't die laughing at something he said. But even then, even if you don't want to take like Jericho joking, his 08 run with Shawn, those were some great promos, how serious he was and how he really changed his whole style around. How his first night on Raw, it was a promo where he ended up right now. Granted, Rock destroyed him right after that, but he still got his licks in. That's why I think Jericho at least deserves a mention. He's one of my favorites, so I think he should be on this list. But Jericho at least deserves a mention.
I agree. I can't even say anything better. The man debuted going toe to toe with The Rock. Like that is something you just don't get to do and hang out with The Rock and say, yeah, I went out there and he destroyed me. No, Jericho always went toe to toe, even around the 01 time period with the Alliance and all that. They started talking about Jimmy Jack Jericho and Grandma Jericho. Jericho, he's really good, man. I think he's got to. He's got to at least be someone we revisit. I think. What do you think, Malik?
Yeah, everybody good?
Now for the mentions. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Y2J. All right, Chris Jericho. Mentioned. Anybody want to throw out there? Anybody else?
I know we didn't talk about Biz yet, but I got another person. Samoa Joe. If it was just one promo from him, I'd be like, one promo. But Samoa Joe has cut crazy ass promos repeatedly on people, whether it was Brock Lesnar, whether it was Paul Heyman. It doesn't matter who. When he came out running down the entire Elimination Chamber match.
Literally, Conrad, when he cut that promo, I tell you, I'll rewatch that promo like 8 times that week alone. I couldn't stop laughing. He went through everyone. Man told Jeff, hey, pretend it's an A meeting and you stay quiet when I'm talking with the group. I said, my jaw hit the floor and I just laughed. He told Randy, when I defame the fight, it believe me won't come out from nowhere. Like literally, he went in on fucking everybody. That had me dying laughing. And the thing about Joe, and this, I don't even think Joe means to be, but sometimes the way he says things just cracks me up. I don't think Joe's trying to be funny, but some of the things he just says is just hilarious.
I think Joe's trying to cut you, but on the inside, he wants to laugh. Samoa Joe's one of the coolest dudes, too, by the way. If you saw him at Wale Mania, I retweeted the photo of him, like Jay-Z songs, Samoa Joe's songs, but I just think he deserves a mention. I don't know. What do you think, Malik?
I think he deserves a mention, but another guy that Kyron says is we got to talk about Miz, too, man. I mean,
hold up. Before we get to Miz, one more thing about Joe. This is one of my favorite promos from Joe that no one brings up. This is back when he was NXT feud with Nakamura. And they were doing that contract signing for TakeOver Toronto. And Joe brought his own table and chair out there and literally just destroyed Nakamura and William Regal on the mic. That had me dying laughing.
Yeah, him just yelling Regal was like a
Regal! Yeah, it was fun. The time is up! Yeah, that was funny.
Samoa Joe is really good. Like, there's no doubt about it. I mean, he can. I feel like he really can go toe to toe with anybody on the mic if you get the right person out there.
Is he on the mention?
But
yeah,
we'll put him down. Mentions. All right, let's talk about Miz. So, I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to hate. I was one of the biggest Miz haters ever when he first came out. I was like, I don't like this guy.
When you say first came out, are you talking like Tough Enough Miz or Chick Magnet Miz?
Chick Magnet Miz, when he turned on John Morrison, like even when he won the WWE Championship, dude, I couldn't believe my eyes. Like, this dude's the champion, and then he main event WrestleMania and defeat John Cena. I was like, oh my god, like why is this? This is terrible. Like I hate this guy. But fast forward to now, dude. This guy has improved on so much stuff, dude. He's improved on my mic and ring. There's no doubt this guy's a Hall of Famer, dude. Miz is gonna be in the Hall of Fame someday. This guy is absolutely incredible on the mic and everything. I would actually hope that at some point he actually becomes WWE champion again because he deserves it. And when he first got it, it felt like it wasn't the right time, but now would be the perfect time. Like if he main evented WrestleMania now, I don't think I would have an issue with it as it is back then. Because back then I was kind of like, why is this guy in the main event? You know what I mean? On the mic though, man, he's one of the best on the mic. Especially when I'm talking smack with Daniel Bryan, that's one of the craziest mic segments I've ever seen. Like the intensity and everything, because that was real. That was some real stuff right there.
I applaud it.
He deserves to mention. I think.
Yeah, first time I saw that Miz talking smack promo, no lie, me and my brother literally applauded for like a minute when that happened. But I'm gonna ignore that one for a minute because that's too easy of a mention. One of my favorite, and I'm not even gonna bring up the stuff I've seen at WrestleMania 33. Once again, too easy. And I tell you one of my favorite Miz promos when he buried Enzo Amore. That was one of my favorite Miz promos because Miz just announced that him and Reese about to have their first baby. Then Enzo comes out and he pretty much tells her how it is. You just ruined a deep moment. And then literally just went through on her saying, literally, I started out just like you. I brought the people the wrong way, but I regrouped and I earned respect. You, on the other hand, you're getting kicked off of tour buses. You all you care about is hanging out with third-rate rappers, and you don't have a 7-foot meal ticket anymore. I see so much talent in you, and I'm literally like, why am I supposed to boo the Miz over Enzo and cheer for Enzo? Miz destroyed him. That's one of my favorite Miz promos that a lot of people don't really bring up.
Dude, even the stuff he did before the Triple Threat match last year, when he was like coming out and he was saying, I've been here for this many years, and people still don't respect me. They still don't appreciate me. Dude, he's so good on the mic, dude. Like, he's intense, especially when he gets to that intense Miz, bro. It's like, dude, it's like, that intense Miz is something that's on a different level, man. Miz has got to do. I don't know if I put him on the list, but he's got to be in the mentions, I think. What do you think, all right?
I think Miz deserves a mention at least. Miz's problem for me, and I'm just going to probably be the Debbie Downer for this segment, is Miz is inconsistent sometimes he goes through like these waves of, like right now he's in kind of a funk, and I'm hoping they can figure out a way to make this babyface work with it. He got all these opportunities at WrestleMania 27, and now everybody's like, man, I wish he would get another run, or man, I wish he'd get another chance to make it at WrestleMania. And it's like, well, he was already gifted.
But Conrad, But here's the thing about that. He was fucked over with that one. I mean, here's one thing, like, no one really looks at the fact that him and Cena didn't have a bad match. It was not bad from an in-ring perspective. But the problem was, Miz was the third wheel, and no, WWE did not take him, like, serious. WWE barely gave him the chance that much. Like, no one talked. Think about it.
I mean, The Rock came back and they focused on him.
Yeah, that was the problem. And I think Miz got screwed over because of that. Like, going into that match, the only talking point was Cena and Rock. And hell, I was one of the only people because, like I said, Cena and Rock was always a dream match for me. And then he only retained it. He got a concussion in the main event, and he only retained it because The Rock got involved. Miz got screwed over on that one. That's why a lot of fans look at it now as, like, we wanted him to get another shot. Hell, just look at his interest in the Hate Me Now promo that played for him right before that. Like, Miz at the time looked like he was about to become a future star. But that's what, and I'm not blaming The Rock for this, because it's not necessarily Rock's fault. But you can't act like The Rock and Cena's feud didn't hurt the Miz in particular. Like, no one remembers he won the main, like, no one remembers, like, oh, I won the main event. No one brings that up. No, everyone says because of The Rock and Cena. No one cares about the Miz. And
I think what hurt him, though, it wasn't his promos or anything else. No one probably remembers this match with R-Truth, where R-Truth did a flip to the outside and Miz was supposed to catch him. Miz clean moved out of the way and R-Truth just fell and hit his back hard on the floor. And I always remember, I'm like, Miz, you couldn't have tried to catch him? Even like get hit by him or something to lessen his blow? Miz was there and then he moved. Like, he just was like, no. And they got unnecessary blame, too, for that Survivor Series match, which was stupid. That's everyone's fault, not just...
Wait, what's the problem with it?
What, Survivor Series match? The buy rate was low. This is back when they still had pay-per-view buy rates, and they blamed Miz and R-Truth for not being big enough stars.
I don't think it's fair to blame them, per se. I mean...
But they were going to blame Rock and Cena, because they'll be like, all right, well, you can go get someone else then.
I mean, I wouldn't blame Rock and Cena either. I mean, WrestleMania 28 did their most buy rates, and that was because of Rock and Cena. So I can't really... I mean... Sometimes that just happens. And I mean,
it's just the way the cookie crumbles. And I think that's the way it is with Miz, because I think CM Punk deserved the main event of WrestleMania over Miz. But
absolutely at that time.
I mean,
especially at that time. Yeah, at that time you're talking about 2011, dude. So it's like, yeah, bro, he could have been the main event at 29 or 30. If he I mean, obviously he wasn't going to be the main event at 30, but if he'd have stayed, he could have been the main event. They should have been the main event. But I mean, I just think it was timing for like. Go ahead, Aaron.
I'm gonna say, well, the original plan was for him to be a part of that Rock Cena match in 29 and be a triple threat match. I mean, that might have helped a lot of things. People would have been bored with the Rock Cena match, and that's another problem. Like, a lot of people crap on the Rock Cena 2 match. I understand why, but you can't blame. Once again, I don't think it's fair to blame Cena and Rock for that. They tried their damnedest for that match to be good. They tried their best, but when Rock getting injured, Rock, turned his pelvic muscle or whatever inside the match. They had to literally turn it into like a rest hold and a lot of finishes. And like I guess I can't blame Rock and Cena for that because like they tried their best. But with a tight crowd from 2 straight 20-minute matches and a match we had just saw the year before, and then you add in the injuries and everything, that's why a lot of people hate that match so much. But I don't think it's fair to blame either Rock or Cena for it.
Having CM Punk in that match would have been so much better, just because of the reign he was having. His reign would have been there. And then you had 2 guys who legit could beat him, so it'd have made it a lot better. But I mean, I think the timing for Miz though, when he first won the championship, just wasn't the right time. I mean, this was like 2010. Like nobody, he wasn't even like one of their big stars back then. To me, he was kind of always like the mid kind of. I always felt like mid card. Then he became the champion. It was just like, what? He's the champion? Like what? It's just I don't know, man. It just felt weird. It didn't feel like the right time. I think I think he deserves a mention though. He's got to be somebody to come back to because, like I said, he's improved tremendously on the mic and everything. So he's got to be somebody we come back to. Is there any people you guys want to throw out there? Any names you guys want to throw out?
Go ahead, Kyron, if you got someone.
I'm just gonna say this. Who's your daddy in Montreal? Are we not just even gonna bring Sean up? Like, Sean does not get a mention.
Michael, let's talk about.
Go ahead, bring him up.
Hey, I mean, I stand by the fact that the promo, even though Sean didn't want to turn heel, him turning heel in 05, that promo he cut in Montreal is one of the best heel promos you will ever hear. I mean, he taunted that crowd like crazy. Then they played Bret Hart's music, and Bret Hart didn't, and they went crazy. And Bret Hart's music didn't come out. Got your hopes up just a little bit, did not. It's all great stuff. I mean, I don't know if Sean's on this list, but I think Sean deserves a mention at least.
Sean is someone who I would bring up. Shawn Michaels is my favorite superstar of all time, so don't get me wrong when I say this, but I can admit that the names we have said are above Shawn Michaels at the microphone and getting a reaction. But can you measure Sean's charisma for promo packages or the storytelling in the ring that he does? Sean is amazing. If he had a different list for that stuff, Sean would definitely be someone I'm putting up a fight for. For this, though, I would just
yeah, I think Sean at least deserves a mention. I wouldn't put him on the list, but I think he deserves a mention.
All right, I'm writing him down right now for the mentions.
I got another one too. I don't know how we're gonna feel about it, but I think this could bring up a little debate, so make things interesting.
Brock Lesnar. All right, let's talk about it. I knew you were gonna say it.
Who are you talking about, Conrad? Don't listen to me.
Oh, he's talking about Brock Lesnar again? You better knock it off. Triple H. Is Triple H a good promo, or is Triple H the 20-minute for every opening of Raw?
You know what's funny? I was hoping someone was gonna bring Triple H up. I don't think he seems. Go ahead, Malik.
I think it depends though, man. He has good promos where like he's had a lot of good promos where he's had a lot of good promos. I think in his later years his promos have been a lot better. Like I like the promo he did on Batista when it was just him by when Batista came out when he was just him by himself. Everything it's just strictly him. But I mean, some of his older stuff though is kind of like like you said, it's kind of like the way he talks and everything. It's kind of some of his promos in the past haven't been good, but I think he's improved a lot. Definitely on his promos.
He's hit or miss. Like I don't know. Did you guys ever see when he first became the game with the sit down interview with Jim Ross? I thought that was a really good one. Where he's like, "I am the effing game," and they have to censor it, and he's got the backwards hat on. That was like Triple H's like beginning of. This dude's a main eventer. Like they're gonna actually let him do something.
I think a lot of his good work was.
Like I think you said.
No, go ahead, Malik.
Go ahead, Karen.
I would say I think a lot of this.
Like you said. Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
Do you want to go or do you want me to go?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You go first. Go ahead.
I would say I think a lot of good stuff he did. Like the problem with Triple H is when he's going on for too long. Because after a while it gets boring. And that's what I feel about Triple H match in general. But I think with Triple H, like, look at a lot of his early stuff, like, especially with when he was the McMahon-Helmsley regime. I like a lot of, like, those promos. Some of the stuff he did with Kurt Angle, that's another person we need to bring up is Kurt Angle. Those some good stuff. Stuff with Austin was good. Stuff with Rock was good. Hell, even lately, the stuff with Undertaker, his stuff he did with Undertaker leading up to WrestleMania 27 and 28, that stuff was good. Some of the stuff he did with Shawn, that stuff was good. So I think Triple H at least deserves a mention, but he's not on this list to me.
I think and Triple H can be funny at times too, man. If you go back to like the 06 DX stuff they were doing, that was some good stuff. That's funny ass stuff they were doing back then. So
people absolutely Triple H, the Katie Vick one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna I laughed probably for 5 minutes straight when he did the whole thing where he's in the coffin, dressed as Kane with the mask on. He had spaghetti in his hands. I was just laughing because I'm like, this is so stupid.
You actually found that shit funny?
Yes, dude. I thought it was so bad that it was funny. Like, who wrote this? It's even funnier now to know the story that there was a real funeral going on next door, and these guys are doing that.
I thought that was a myth. I thought that was just a myth.
No, they said that was the truth. There was a funeral going on in the next room, and they had to like come over and tell them like, hey, guys, calm it down. What are you doing? And you see Triple H in there with no shirt on and a mask on his face with a dummy in the casket. They're probably like, what are they doing? And the guy was just like, whatever.
They going to hell.
Yeah, for sure. But
they're going to hell.
That makes it even better. He's holding spaghetti in his hands. I screwed your brains out. Even the presidential one with DX when they do the whole making fun of Bill Clinton, that was good too.
I'll tell you another DX thing. And this might not even be funny nowadays, but when you're just like I think the first time I saw it, I was 6. I didn't understand anything. So when I got like 11 and 12, it's probably not even that funny anymore. When I first saw it, I just died. Remember when he and Sean were imitating McMahon's, and Triple H said, as Vince said, Vince McMahon, love dicks. And literally, me and my cousin, I literally kept rewinding the DVD. Me and my cousin died laughing. Oh man, like this man tried to tell me it's not funny, and then I rewinded like 3 more times, and he's dying. Dude, now, looking at today is not as stupid.
I have that DX DVD, dude, and I used to watch that time when I was a kid, just over and over again, just laugh my ass off at that stuff, dude. This is hilarious stuff because like I said, Triple H can make you laugh at times. There's times where he can make you laugh, you know what I mean? And there's times he can get serious and make it feel good, but then there's times where he's a little iffy.
One last good one is that promo with the Nation. The Corporation one was nowhere near. The Nation of Domination one where he came out with Jason Sensation as Owen Hart. That was funny. I know that the blackface thing with X-Pac is taboo and they shouldn't have did that. But when he came out as the Croc, you could tell Triple H really felt that way. He came out with the loafers on with no socks, the Hawaiian shirt, the fake icy Hawaiian. And he was just out there like, yeah, what the Croc says. It was just freaking hilarious stuff, man. They were good.
Yeah, now I'm ignoring the blackface stuff because I don't fuck with blackface. But
no.
Yeah, Triple H cutting that promo. Like when Triple H cutting that promo as The Rock, that was hilarious.
Yeah,
you talking about but we talking about moments. Hold up, we talking about moments. How about when DX was on a tank and went to WCW? Like the stuff Triple H was saying was just hilarious. Remember, he walked up to the one fan and said, "Not from experience anything, but do you think WCW sucks?" Of course. Like literally, that's literally my favorite D-Generation X moment when they invaded. Mind you, because I think Raw was in Hampton and Nitro was in Norfolk, and obviously my college pretty much being right here, it looked like a 20-30 minute drive from between Norfolk and Hampton. So I like that. That's probably my favorite DX moment. It's just fucking funny. I still think the dumbest thing WCW did was not leave the doors open and let them come in. I'd have let them in.
Yeah, I think Kurt Angle. We got Triple H. You got to be in the mention. So I put it down for the mentions. You said Kurt Angle, so let's talk about Kurt Angle.
I mean,
do
I need to say anything? I'm just a sexy Kurt. Rapping against John Cena, Jimmy Crack Corn. So I mean, Kurt Angle next to The Rock is probably the funniest wrestler to me. But also, what made Kurt so good, not only was he hilarious when he could be, he was serious too. And I think Kurt's one of my personal favorite wrestlers in general, all around. But when it comes to the mic, there's few wrestlers, like we talked about with The Rock and Triple H, and even to a lesser Stone Cold, wrestlers that can be serious and funny without it being forced or awkward. And Kurt was one of those people.
Kurt Angle, man, that's all I gotta say.
Go ahead,
Angle is someone who will make you laugh, who will make you cry, who will make you cringe. That promo with Booker and Charmel to this day still gives me like, what the heck?
We just let's ignore that. Let's ignore that.
Well, what about the Rey Mysterio one too? I think that one was funny for some good comedy. Ray, you know what I do when I get in the ring with pedophilia?
I'm trying to think. What'd he say? I'm trying to think.
Like, you know what I do to little boys or something in this ring when they get, and Rey Mysterio was like, what?
He was like,
I didn't mean it like that. Then he said something else, and the fans started laughing.
He was like, he said, I'm gonna get in the ring, I'm gonna get on top, and I'm gonna pin you. And he was like, wait, no, what do you mean? Like it was. I never that.
Oh no, I'm trying to think. It was something else Kurt said. I'm trying to think. What else the fuck?
I think said? One of my favorite.
No, go ahead, Malik.
One of my favorite Kurt Angle too was Wrestling Machine Kurt Angle. He was when he started wearing the mouthpiece and he was getting all serious with the promos and everything. And he was like, I'm a wrestling machine. That Kurt Angle too was. Those promos he was cutting too were some really good stuff too.
Remember Milk-O-Mania?
So I think we could Milk-O-Mania. We could put Kurt Angle down for the mentions. Put him down for the mentions. All right, another guy I got to bring. We got to talk about Mick Foley though. What about Mick Foley, man?
I'm sorry, we got to have Mick on this list. This is the dude.
We've mentioned a lot of good names.
I mean, personally, my last three on
my last three on this list would be Cena, Foley, and Heyman.
But I think Foley has to be on this list for this reason. This is a guy who had 3 different characters: Mankind, Dude Love, Cactus Jack. All 3 completely different characters, but he played all 3 so good, and they never felt like, oh man, this is clearly stupid. No, you believe like this guy was different from this. Like you believe Dude Love and Cactus Jack and Mankind are 3 different people. That's how good Foley was. And one of my favorite like Foley promos, speaking of that, was a SmackDown for Royal Rumble 2000 when he was supposed to face Triple H in a street fight, and he even said as Mankind he didn't think he could do it. And in like as the promo was going on, took the mask off, took the shirt off, revealed Cactus Jack, and just changed how he talked. No one else could pull that off of Mick Foley to change gimmick in the middle of a promo. I think Mick Foley has to be on this list. I mean, the dude can be funny, can be serious. I mean, his stuff as the commissioner, all good stuff. I'm like, that's the thing about Mick Foley. He could be funny, he can be serious, he can be threatening, he can be deranged. I think Mick Foley should definitely be on the list.
When he was the commissioner with Edge and Christian, when he was trying to duck out of matches, they said they had an STD, and he was like, "Boys, I wouldn't make jokes." What did they say they had gonorrhea or something? He was like, "I wouldn't make jokes."
General words.
Oh yeah, general words. Dude, freaking good stuff with Foley. But even his stuff with Randy Orton when they got serious, I love their promo work with Randy Orton spitting his face, and him not saying anything made him even more powerful on the microphone. Like, come on, Foley, do something. And he didn't do anything.
One of my favorite promos too is when he was Mankind, when him sat down with Jim Ross and he's talking about like his childhood and like he's going through his childhood. He's missing patches in his head, like ripping his hair out of his head and stuff. Mick Foley, you gotta be on the list, man. I gotta put Mick Foley on the list.
And The Rock, too. The Rock and Sock, pure hilarity. The Rock, thanks for that. The only one time I ever remember Rock like botching something and his glasses fell off and Mankind picks him up and hands him to him.
I'll tell you another funny, like, I don't think it was necessarily a botch, but it was something like, Rock was talking, and I guess his voice cracked or whatever, and like Foley just started like laughing at him, whatever. He had to drink some water to get his voice back together. Like that was like Mick Foley's probably one person that brought a lot out of The Rock in terms of like in ring and on the mic. I mean, this Your Life segment, still one of the best Raw segments you'll ever see. And then I think it was when Foley's general manager, I know it was the commissioner, my fault, and he asked Rock like, "What do you think?" And Rock says, "Well," and Foley just yelled at The Rock, "It doesn't matter what you think." Like, I think Mick Foley should be on this list.
I think we got to put it in the mentions because there's a lot of good people. I still got 2 more that I want to talk about personally. Actually, 3.
All right, let's talk about these 3 guys. Bring up one of them.
All right. Let's talk about The Undertaker as the American Badass. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, he's not that good. I think Undertaker being able to talk was one of the best things that they could let him do. I appreciated the American Badass character for these simple moments. Number 1, the fans were chanting him so bad one night, and Undertaker's probably the only dude who could get away with this. It was what? And he got pissed. He was like, you know what? Say what if you
like to sleep with your sister?
What? And that's all you heard from the crowd. And that's all you heard. Like, they wanted to say it, and then he was like, yeah, that's right. And Undertaker, I thought he was a lot better. Is Undertaker the greatest at it? Is he top 10? No. But I think he deserves a mention for some of his work as the American Badass. He made Tommy Dreamer drink his own tobacco chew spit. Like, that is freaking gross in a promo segment. He also could put people over just by talking to them, saying he'll make you famous. He did a lot of good stuff, I think, as the American Badass. The moments of the invasion angle, they're rallying the troops, and Undertaker's the main speaking part.
Yeah. Like,
dude, even the Deadman, like in the go ahead, Aaron.
I was gonna say a lot of people hate on American Badass. Now, granted, American Badass is the first Undertaker I ever knew because, like I said, I was born in 2000, and literally, like I think like a couple months after I was born, that's when the American Badass Taker debuted. So when he became a dead man in 2004, I didn't know who this Undertaker was. So, but anyway, I think a lot of, like that. What thing is probably one of the greatest owning of any chant. He said, "They say what if you like to sleep with your sister?" What? Oh yeah, that was hilarious. But another Undertaker promo, and this is probably my favorite Undertaker promo, and no one talks about it. And literally, you got to find this on YouTube when you go to network. The SmackDown for Survivor Series 03, when he's gonna face Vince in a Buried Alive match, and this is obviously like an edited, but he was talking about how personal this has gotten and how Vince has messed with me both professionally and personally, and for all the guys Vince has screwed over, and how he disrespects his family, and then he ended off that one perfect line. And the way the music played, I'm a firm believer, and I believe that it comes a time for every man. You have to atone for your sins, even if your name is Vince McMahon. Like that gave me chills. Even though I don't think Undertaker is in this list, but that one promo is one of my favorite Undertaker promos.
I got two more for you. Now you go with both of the Shawn Michaels WrestleMania moments and how he delivered his lines in there. I thought those were really good, and the whole Shawn Michaels be ready to walk out the ring and in condition, like he knew to hit the lines at the perfect time. But the other one is Triple H when they're in the ring and they're going back and forth. He's like, "You want me to take you?" Like, yeah, well, I guess it is. And Triple H is looking like, what? That Shawn's and then they pan over to Taker, look at Shawn, and Shawn cracks his smile. Dude, good stuff between all of them. I think he was enhanced by the people he was in there with, too, at the same time. I think Taker deserves a mention for how quick-witted he was with some of the stuff.
I think, like, a big problem.
You got to mention, too, the...
No, go ahead, Malik.
You got to mention the first Dead Man Taker, too. Like, when he first started cutting those promos in, like, the 90s or the 90s, it was, like, new stuff. Like, nobody was cutting those Dead Man promos and, like, the way, he was looking in the camera and the way he kind of, like, you kind of thought the guy was a little weird. Like, little kids were scared of this guy. Like, little kids were, like, hiding behind the guardrails when this guy came out. Like, who's this guy? Like, this guy, creepy.
Yeah, I admit, like,
what do you
like say? I said, since, like, I've been watching wrestling for a few years, so I didn't know the Dead Man Taker. And mind you, Undertaker was always one of my favorite wrestlers. I was, like, when I was, like, first learned about it, I was a little scared of the Undertaker as the Dead Man. Now, obviously, I love the Undertaker. I have utmost respect for him. But some of my favorite Undertaker promo work was in '98. Now, I think '98 might be Pete Taker, honestly. And I don't like mainstream Undertaker. That's probably the only Undertaker I don't really like. But leading up to the stuff with Paul Bearer and Kane, I remember the promos used to cut in the back. I remember one of the most, like, ones that gave me goosebumps. I don't even remember a lot what he said, but just the way he acted. I think he was cutting a promo in front of his parents' grave right before his match with Kane, and that gave me chills too. I mean, when Undertaker is on, especially, like, I think most of his best stuff is, like, edited, like when they edit stuff together. But when Undertaker is on, his stuff is really good.
All the chemistry.
Who's
with that?
Who's somebody else you want to mention?
Hulk Hogan.
I already brought Hogan up.
No, you said his name, but we didn't talk about him.
Oh.
Let's talk about Hulk Hogan. Go ahead, Conrad. You brought him up. Go ahead. Sorry.
I think Hulk Hogan is someone who is underrated when it comes to the microphone ability. He got over stuff like, something mean. Hogan could talk you into any arena, whether it's him talking about body slamming Andre the Giant before he started botching later on. If you go in there and you talk about Hulk Hogan with the say your prayers, eat your vitamins, people know this stuff like the back of their hands. People know he's going to come out there and say all that stuff. For the time in the 80s, I thought Hogan was excellent. Let's fast forward a little bit. Hogan, even in the NWO, was a great heel. Like, he knew how to make people just absolutely hate that man for everything he said. Even when they attacked Stone Cold and The Rock in the 2002 era, they were heels. I don't know if Hogan's in the upper echelon of the top 10, but I think he deserves attention for being able to talk people in the arena, being able to come see a match with him and The Rock, him and Andre the Giant. It went over decades. What he was able to do.
Yeah, I think Hogan at least deserves a mention. He has a promo style similar to Ultimate Warrior, but the difference is Hogan can tell a story. You actually understand what the hell he was saying. But here's the question: is Hogan the right gay guy or not? I had to bring that up. That botch.
What?
The right gay guy.
What do you mean?
You must not remember that botch. Just type in Hulk Hogan.
Yes. On SmackDown? Yes. Now I remember.
But anyway, like, I think the problem with Hogan is, especially like in the 90s, like, he never really had much to say. That's why he really got stale toward the 90s. But I really like his NWO stuff. And one thing I really like, and this is coming from someone who wasn't really happy about it at first, was his promo about Mean Gene on Raw a few months ago. Mind you, I was one of the people that wasn't happy about Hogan coming back, and I said, as long as it's just the honor Mean Gene, I'm okay with it, because obviously I don't really want Hogan back in general. But the promo he cut about Mean Gene and everything, I'm not gonna like that didn't almost make me a little teary-eyed. So I think Hogan deserves a mention. I mean, hell, like, and this comes from who doesn't even like Hogan. I like his NWO stuff. Some of the stuff in the 80s, like, I was watching his contract signing with Andre the Giant, and I really like the stuff he was saying. So I think Hogan deserves a mention at least.
He was intense, and the weird thing is, he's from an era where that stuff worked back then in the 80s. And you're not going to tell some dude who's already rich to change up what he's doing, because he's already like, dude, I'm making mad money doing this. Why would I change? Mad money.
Who was the last person you want to talk about?
Oh, this was mentioned by Kyron too. Since he brought up Paul Heyman, we have to talk about Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon, I think, is the one dude who can make you hate him in an absolute moment on the microphone. Dude, I'll never forget the stuff making Trish Stratus strip and bark like a dog. I know that that's bad and taboo, but to get the heel heat, it absolutely worked. What about the promo about I can't even think of it right now, where he says he's talking about people getting what they want, and then he says sometimes life sucks and then you die. That whole SmackDown, dude, excellent work. The talking about Stone Cold having no chance in hell, and then that's part of his theme afterwards from the Royal Rumble. Vince McMahon is great on the microphone. I'll let you guys give some of your favorite after we can talk all day about some of the stuff.
I have a lot of favorite Vince moments in terms of funny, like stuff that like made me sick, stuff that's just great heel work. Hell, Conrad, you said how Vince can make you hate him. He's still doing it now. I mean, think about it. Him suspending Becky and putting Charlotte in there, him keeping Kofi, that's stuff that makes us angry. Vince, even was he 74, if I'm not mistaken, 70-something, 73, he's still great at it. That's one thing you got to give him credit for. Some of his dumber, like, goofier lines, sometimes the way he delivered them, when he called Shane McMahon a product of his semen, I mean, even Shane's face when Vince says it, like, what the hell are you talking about? That was hilarious. One thing I really liked was McMahon 316 says, I have the brass to fire your ass. And then later in the night, Austin pointed a gun at him. Man, the stuff with Vince and Austin, that's just great stuff. But one of my favorite Vince moments, and this is just by default, everyone should have this, honestly. His speech, his promo on a SmackDown after 9/11. I think that was a great speech by Vince. Like I said, I think Vince deserves a mention. I don't think he's gonna be on my list, but Vince in general has always been there. Oh, he was even good on commentary, to be honest. So I think Vince deserves a mention at least.
Vince McMahon is the ultimate heel because he owns the company. He's putting people in matches that he wants to see in there. I mean, it's like they said stuff with Kofi. It's just like when Kofi won the Gauntlet match a couple weeks ago. You're kind of like, oh my god. Vince comes back, you're like, oh my god, this guy's gonna do something. He's gonna do something again, and he just does something again. Vince McMahon is the ultimate heel. Promo stuff, dude. He's excellent at promo stuff too. I mean, he has his moments where
the
says stuff,
club stuff too.
You know what he's saying?
Him and Taker. Or the one time when he thought Rock was like, I got an ass for you to kiss, and then Trish Stratus comes out, and everyone's like, oh dang. And Trish pulls her pants down just a little bit, and then Vince thinks he's about to go over there. He's got the stupid look on his face when he's kneeling, going over the Rock goes, whoa. And he's like, I brought the perfect ass back for you to kiss, and then Rikishi comes out. Good stuff, man. And that's something he's willing to do, like, whatever. You can be mad that you just had to eat a stinky face, but Vince did the exact same thing. I got it.
And I think Vince deserves a mention too. Plus, Vince is always one of those people, he'll never do anything that he'll never ask you. If he asks you to do something, he'll end up doing it. And, I remember when he got his face shut.
Kyron said, you can bring up the stuff with Booker T and John Cena backstage. I'm not even going to mention that. All like that. The God promo. I know how so many people were like, yo, my mom said I can't watch wrestling anymore. Vince was in the church, and he was like, who am I? Spitting up the water and stuff. It's wild, man.
You know, that's one of those things. I'm not even religious. I think the God storyline was stupid as fuck. I think it was retarded, but it was funny.
It was. I thought it was funny. It was making a mockery of Shawn Michaels. Like, oh, you say God. Let's see if God can help you against me. And the McMahons beat God in the match. Can you think about that?
Come on, God. Remember when they started playing music? He's like, come on, God, let's get down. Something like that. Only Vince could do that. Hold up. I'll tell you one of the funniest things. This was like I think this is at WrestleMania 22, if I'm not mistaken. When he was going to face Shawn. And it was all the McMahons, including Linda. They all got down and Vince got his knees. He said, God, I don't like you and you don't like me. That's just classic Vince McMahon. Like Vince is one of those people who, and this is one thing, even though we all hate Vince for certain things, I respect him for the fact that he's not afraid to make himself like a fool or spill blood for his company. That's one thing I gotta give Vince credit for. He's great at character work. Even though this isn't a promo, I gotta bring it up in terms of character. When he fought Hogan at WrestleMania 19, he got the pipe under the ring, and when he peered over the apron, that camera shot of Vince's face with that blood on his face is one of the greatest camera shots in wrestling history. Literally, like that's just like the devil himself. Like that was perfect. Yeah, I think Vince Vince deserves a mention.
And I know you mentioned that bad promo by Hogan, but there was a really good promo between them two leading up to 19. The whole who made WrestleMania? Did Vince McMahon make it? Did Hulk Hogan make it? And I'm pretty sure we can all believe that it was a combination, but that was a hell of a promo to sell you on. Like that should happen at 20 to make it that much epic, just to put the stamp on it. But at 19, that was a hell of a match that sold the show.
Didn't I say that a couple weeks ago that match should have been at 20? I said that.
Yeah, no, it always makes sense to be one of those. 19 is just a weird number to have it at versus 20, where it was like the 20 years. A weird number.
Plus 20. It'd have been. It's a Madison Square Garden, so it's like this is where wrestling, got popular and everything, and this is where they sold all the arenas and everything. So, I think Vince deserves a mention though. Like I said, Vince McMahon's really good on the mic. But is there any other mentions you guys want to throw out there? Anybody else you want to throw out there?
The ones we didn't talk about that got brought up were Bobby Heenan and Jim Cornette.
We can run through Bobby. Let's start with Bobby Heenan. And then we'll go to Jim Cornette.
Bobby Heenan's excellent from some of his stuff from commentary, but from his kind of promos, I love the work that he did with Andre the Giant for WrestleMania 3. Basically selling why Andre should turn, and you could basically tell that he got to Andre's head and saying, "This man's never offered you a title shot, Andre. How can you be his friend?" He gets this big trophy for winning the tournament, and you get this little rinky-dink one. You've been undefeated for 15 years, Kayfabe. And Andre the Giant angry about it. Bobby is always just a weasel, just make you mad. Him talking about Boss Man's mother. I don't know if you guys ever seen that angle, but for a long time he would talk crap about Boss Man's mother on commentary, and then promos backstage with his guys. Yeah, stupid, like Big Boss Man's mom. Boss Man finally caught up to him one day, and Boss Man put a beat down on him and tied him with a ball and chain and really let him out. He was always a good heel, man.
Yeah, one thing I like about Heenan, is how he could turn any negative about him or one of his guys into whatever babyface or Hogan or anybody he was going against. And this is one thing, only thing I've heard one other person bring this up. A lot of people always talk about who's Hogan's greatest rival. You already in the 80s, it was Heenan. Heenan was his actual rival, and then there was the people Heenan fought that he represented. Heenan is, but I personally love Heenan on commentary. I mean, literally, he's hilarious. Granted, I'm probably the only person that's like Jesse Ventura a little bit more on commentary than Heenan, just a little bit more. But I think Heenan is a great manager, of course. I prefer Cornette and Heyman personally. In terms of managers, but what do you think, Malik?
I don't know. I think if we're gonna, because we only got 3 spots left, and I feel like I would put Paul Heyman over Bobby Heenan.
I would too.
As far as promo talk though, but I'll put him down as the mentions. I think we definitely got to put him down for the mentions.
I'm looking at.
And then you guys
are live chat in here speaking too.
I saw that.
Steve said Cena should be on the list. He said, "I hope Dean Ambrose and Jericho get a mention at least." Someone put CM Punk, Rock, Jericho, and they put Edge in there as well.
I was gonna bring up Edge.
Too. Yeah, I think we need to talk about Edge too.
And then we see Alexa Bliss, Charlotte, and AJ Lee.
And most women-wise, that most I'm only giving a mention to AJ because of that promo she cut. Sasha because her stuff in NXT was fucking amazing, and Becky for obvious reasons. Those are only three women I might give a mention to. And I love Becky to death, but I'm not putting any of them on the list.
Let's talk about Jim Cornette though, because Jim Cornette was after Bobby Heenan. So go ahead, Conrad.
Cornette is a great man, and I'm not even gonna talk about his shoot stuff for now because I gotta get to his podcast. But Heyman, Cornette, even in the 70s, he even though he was a great heel, he still could put the good guys over. And he was a fast talker. And he, unlike Jimmy Hart, he didn't need a megaphone because he was the megaphone. Now look at his WrestleMania 10 promo for one. And of course I gotta bring up. Cornette. You listen to his podcast. The man still cuts great promos this very day when he's going off on someone. And of course, his legendary "Thank you, fuck you, bye" is still a legendary. Quote. Once again, I think Cornette deserves a mention, even though he's not on my list. Like I said, I take Heyman before both of them, but I think Cornette at least deserves a mention.
I agree with the quote that I heard a long time ago that Paul Heyman is the Eastern version, like Northeast version of Jim Cornette, and Jim Cornette is the Southern version of Paul Heyman. Like, these guys are absolutely great on the microphone or getting their people over. Since this is kind of a WWE list, you're putting all of this together. I don't know if Jim Cornette is enough collectively in the WWE to compete with Paul Heyman.
Yeah, Cornette will tell you that itself.
Yeah, because he left the company. Then he was also in roles that were like behind the scenes, and he really wasn't interacting with superstars as much. But really good stuff. Yeah, I love Jim Cornette. Honorable mention.
Yeah. Jim Cornette. If you don't listen to that man's podcast and not laugh, you don't have a sense of humor.
I love it. Only other people.
Edge what about Edge? Let's get into
Eddie Guerrero's another one I forgot to bring up too, but.
What about Edge? Let's get into go ahead, Kyrie. You can start with Edge.
Like I said, Edge. Once again, Edge is always something that can be funny, but also evil at the same time. His stuff with Christian was always fucking hilarious. His stuff when he was the top heel in WWE with Lita, and his stuff as the Lita, a lot familiar with Guerrero, all good stuff. His later years was all right, and then his retirement promo made everybody cry. If you tell me you didn't get a little emotional from Edge's retirement promo, you're a liar. I think Edge at least deserves a mention because he's cussed a lot of great promos. The thing about Edge, and maybe just off the top of my head, I can't really think of any great promos where Edge is the main guy. Maybe it's just because I just can't think off the top. The only two I can think of was his promo he gave to John Cena right before his match with Brock Lesnar, and the same he did with Mick Foley right before his Hell in a Cell match with The Undertaker. Both him and Mick cut growing. Mick talking about how the only person that can help you is Edge. If you bring the Edge out for at WrestleMania 22 to the Hell in a Cell match, then we'll see the greatest Hell in a Cell match we've ever seen. If you bring this Edge to the SummerSlam, then Undertaker will tear you apart. Do you understand? Edge just told him, I understand, and beat the living hell out of Mick Foley. I think Edge is really good, especially when it comes to faces, a character that's in facial. But I don't know if Edge is on the list.
I agree with that. Edge is a tough buy on it because Edge doesn't have super great moments as far as microphone stuff, but Edge was always in that mix though, and I think he's someone you can't really sleep on. Some of the stuff he did with Matt Hardy, stuff with Lita, John Cena even. He's had some good work overall. I love the Mick Foley promo that you brought up though, leading to his Hell in the Cell at SummerSlam, I believe it was.
Yeah, it was.
Really good stuff. And that was Foley's last act in the company before he went to TNA.
Mm-hmm. We say Malik?
Did you say Guerrero? You said Eddie Guerrero?
Eddie Guerrero was one that I saw mentioned.
I think he at least deserves a mention. Once again,
let's talk about Eddie Guerrero then.
Okay, I think he deserves a mention at least. Eddie was he was knew when to be serious, when to be fired up, when to be hysterical on the mic. And I still think one of his best promos was right before No Way Out with Brock Lesnar. talking about how he disgraced himself, he disgraced his race, he disgraced his family, and how he's beating everything. I think Eddie at least deserves a mention.
Another Eddie promo that I love, which is one of the first ones when I knew he could do it, besides the Latino Heat stuff, was that promo against The Rock, where he came out there and The Rock was being a fool. And Eddie Guerrero talked about his kids having the poster up of The Rock on the wall and how he ripped it down. He sounded like an abusive dad. Like, I ripped down that poster. I should be your favorite superstar, not The Rock. And Rock comes out there and he starts doing the and he started doing all that to Eddie Guerrero, and he got really mad. Like, Eddie had intensity even in that segment. And that was 2 years before he even sniffed the WWE title. Eddie Guerrero was really good. He make you laugh, smile, whatever emotion you wanted. He's like, tell me what you want, I'll do it.
Another great Eddie moment, and it was his segment with Benoit at WrestleMania 20. Not at the end of the show, but it was in the middle of the show when Eddie came out and was saying how, no, win or lose, I'm proud of you. And Benoit just said, there is no lose. And then he got Benoit fired him, like, that's what I'm trying to get out of you. That's the Wolverine I know that's gonna tear Shawn Michaels and Triple H apart and win the night. And even though I think the storyline wasn't good, you got to give Eddie credit for his promo work in the Rey Mysterio feud leading up to SummerSlam. I don't like the storyline because fighting over the custody of a kid, but Eddie's promo work during that feud was actually really, really good.
They actually made chicken salad out of chicken shit, to be honest, because if you put someone else in there, that's going to be an absolute train wreck. And I don't like any promo or like storylines involving kids because I always think the kid's going to mess it up or something's not going to go right with it. But they did a really good job building up the feud between them.
Yeah, and then the match they had was also good. Like,
story.
Yeah, like the storyline was terrible. But give Eddie and Ray that credit for making it work.
All right, I'm putting it down for an honorable mention. All right, anybody? Let me see. Anybody else? Is there anybody else you want to mention? Talk about anybody else you want to throw out there?
Off the top of my head, no.
I think we touched on everybody who's top 10.
And trust me, and for everyone watching is gonna get mad at us. There's probably a lot of people we have not brought up, and there's a lot of people that we just either can't think of, or the fact that we only have 10 spots. But it's probably a lot of people we haven't brought up yet.
Within like the first 8 people, we had 7 people on the list.
And that's the thing, and like that's why, like I said, Brian Zane did 2 top 8s because it was so many people. That's why I just split it up from the 70s to the mid 90s to the late 90s to now, because it was just so many people that got so many votes. Like that's why, like, and that's we're not splitting this. We only have to pick 10 people, and this is like I said, this might be our hardest list to date.
Yeah. So far on the list we got we have The Rock, Randy Savage, Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, Roddy Piper, Stone Cold, and CM Punk. Let's go back to the mentions. Let me see how many mentions we got first. We got 15 people on the mentions.
God damn.
Let's
Did we put Dusty Rhodes is on the main list, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go back to Paul Heyman, because Paul Heyman was the first mention we talked about.
Like, honestly, like I said, I really think Heyman should.
Kyron, I know you want him to be on the list.
Like I said, if you want the match of selling the match and the match, like I said, the match of selling the match to you. This is a dude who in ECW literally shot on the network and dared to take him off the air. ECW One Night Stand 05, his promo where he pretty much burned JBL, saying the only reason you were champion for a year because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesdays. His promos are the reason people were excited for like Lesnar and Reigns at WrestleMania 31. There is no one better at selling the match and telling a story, if you ask me, than Paul Heyman. I think that's why I think Heyman. And we're not going to have any other managers. I think at least Heyman should be up here.
Paul Heyman's a tough person for this.
Paul Heyman's
I say we give him a pass till the next round. I'm not ready to commit yet. What about you,
say
Louis?
we give him a pass till the next. What about you, Louis?
I think Kyron kind of sold me, man. I think he had to be on the list, man. We talk about best promos. I mean, you got to think about it. He's done a lot, and you got to think, what would Brock Lesnar be
before
without
you
Paul
say
Heyman? You know what I mean?
look down that
Brock
list.
Lesnar's
Career,
career,
like, yeah, because there's some other people that I'm like, they may have to be on this.
Well, here's the question: what would Brock Lesnar be without Paul Heyman today? Think of it this way: how many Brock Lesnar matches?
Because we saw what Brock Lesnar. We saw the promos he was cutting when he came back when John Laurinaitis with the John Laurinaitis stuff, dude. It was like he even said it. He went backstage and was like, "Dude, don't put a microphone in my hand. Just call Paul Heyman and let's make this money." And you got to think, even the stuff he's doing with CM Punk, even though he didn't talk much CM Punk, he was still doing good stuff then without Brock Lesnar.
You want to talk about stuff with CM Punk? Look at this.
I think.
No, go ahead, Malik.
I think he's got to be on the list. Yeah, I think he's got to be on the list. I think you got to put him on the list.
And one more thing about CM Punk. Remember,
but we can come back.
Yeah, all right.
I think we can come back. We'll come back to Heyman since Conrad wants to go through it. So let's go to Jake Snake then. Jake Snake was the second mention. Conrad said he wanted to be on the list.
I think Jake should be on the list. I think Jake the Snake is very good. He's been mentioned in the chat several times. Jake the Snake has epic promos. It just may not be within this time frame that people like, but Jake was good.
Kyron, what do you think?
This is why this list is so hard. Because personally, I want the last three on this list to be Heyman, Foley, and Cena, but it's hard to just say, "Oh, Jake can't be on the list," because of how good Jake was.
Let's just cut it down to 5 people then, so we got 15 people. So I'm gonna go through the list. And we're gonna say if we should keep him or cut him. So Paul Heyman, I think we should keep Heyman. I'm gonna keep Heyman.
Keep.
Jake the Snake, I think we should keep Jake the Snake too.
We'll keep him for the next round.
John Cena, what do you think about John Cena?
Obviously, I say we should keep.
I think we should keep Cena for now. For now.
I will move him on to the next round. Thank goodness he rapped.
Chris Jericho.
Keep.
I want to keep Jericho, to be honest.
Okay, we'll keep him for the next round. Samoa Joe, I think we got to cut Samoa Joe.
I think we got to cut him.
Samoa Joe, based on his tenure in WWE, he's been injured a lot. He hasn't had enough time compared to some of the other people. I love Joe, but maybe this will change in 3 years when he maybe wants to retire or something.
We got to cut him.
The Miz, I think we should cut Miz too. I mean, even though he's great on the mic, we're talking about all time, and I can't put him on all time great.
Yeah, I cut him.
Top 10 at least. But he's.
If we were just going off modern day, then yeah, but we got to cut him.
HBK.
I'm cutting Sean. He's my favorite.
If Conrad cuts him, I got to cut him.
We got to cut Sean. Triple H. I think we got to cut Triple H too. I love Triple H, but
yeah,
I think he's got to be cut. Kurt Angle.
My heart's gonna hurt, but we gotta cut.
Keep him. I think we gotta keep him for a little bit.
Well, no matter what, we gotta keep Mick Foley. I'm sorry, we gotta keep Mick Foley.
Mick Foley is today, no question. Honestly, I think we gotta cut Kurt Angle. To be honest, I mean, looking at the list now, he's not gonna make it on the list for me.
It's gonna hurt my heart, but yeah, we gotta cut him. And I don't want to cut.
If it's Foley against Angle, I'm taking Foley. So
I'm taking Foley, and I love Kurt more. But if it came to Foley versus Angle, I'm taking Foley.
Me too. But on the microphone, I put the mic in someone's hand. I trust Foley more than Kurt.
Hulk Hogan.
I think Hogan stays.
You really think so?
All right, what do you say?
I think we should cut him, honestly.
I'm basing this on how many people he got to come to arenas when wrestling was a regional Hogan made wrestling national, and he did. And he resonated with a lot of people. I'm just saying this may be a time frame thing too for you guys, but I remember Hogan as a kid. He was the biggest thing in the world.
I mean, you got to think though, it's different time period too. Like, would Hogan's promos work today in wrestling?
Right, but would these guys who have promos today, would they work in the 80s?
I think it.
Some of them probably would.
I think so. That's because nowadays, like, people talk, not necessarily as it's like I said earlier. With the 80s, it was mainly who could shout the loudest. That was the biggest problem with the 80s.
I just don't think that. I'm trying to pick out somebody on here who wasn't.
Okay, look at these four. between Paul Heyman, Jake the Snake, John Cena, and Chris Jericho, would you put Hulk Hogan over those guys?
Hell no, I wouldn't put Hogan over those four.
I wouldn't either.
I mean, here's the thing.
I just think of so many. If you have epic lines like The Rock, Hogan has so many of them. Like, let me tell you something, brother. People know to just do that random shit. People on the street, like I can go outside right now and find someone, say something that Hulk Hogan said, and I'll give you $100.
That is true. I mean, I'd probably say other than maybe The Rock, there's no one more like people know. Like, you don't have to be a wrestling fan to know some of Hulk Hogan's catchphrases. Like, same thing The Rock. But here's where I draw like between Cena and Hogan, and like I think it might come down to Cena and Hogan. At their most stale, who would you take on the mic, John Cena or Hulk Hogan? I would still take Cena at their most stale.
I'm taking Hogan.
At their most stale? Or at their most stale? You would take Hogan over Cena?
Hogan, you know what you're going to get, and it's always going to be something serious. When Cena's on the mic and he's the shits, it's the shits.
But when Cena's on the mic and it's great, I think it's better than some of Hogan's best stuff.
Yeah. I think he can outshine Hogan on best stuff, but when it comes to bad, I don't know. John Cena, sometimes it just kills me. And Malik knows the stuff I brought up before. Like, there's times where he's great, and it's like, yes, he built this matchup so well. And then there's other times where I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you're killing me with this, not being serious, and the other guy's being serious, trying to put you into the promo.
Who else we got in the mentions, Malik?
All right, Vince McMahon.
I cut him.
Heyman, Vince. I love Vinnie Mac too much, man. I think he's got to at least the next round. I don't know.
All right, Bobby Heenan.
If we're taking Heyman to the next round, I think we got to cut Heenan.
Heenan's got to go simply because of commentary and promo. It's different to me.
Edge.
Sorry, Edge. Cut.
Yeah. Eddie Guerrero.
Cut.
It hurt my heart to cut.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so we got 7 now instead of 15. So we got 7 people.
Cut it in there.
Cut it in. All right, let's see. Let's go back to let's see. Let's go from the bottom. So let's start from the bottom up. Then we'll go from the bottom. So we'll start with Hulk Hogan because Hulk Hogan was the. Oh no, Vince McMahon was the last one. So we'll go to Vince McMahon.
So I want to hear all the names. Let me hear who's left first.
Vince, Hogan, Foley, Jericho, Cena, Jake the Snake, and Paul Heyman.
Oh my god! See, the hardest thing for me is like I don't want Cena to be off the list.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw one name. I'm gonna throw one name out there that has been on the list for me. That like we got to put on the list right now. I think.
Who?
Mick Foley. I think Mick Foley is on the list.
I agree with that, Malik. I agree.
I'm down. Foley can make the list. We can all agree on that.
All right, we all get Foley. We got Foley.
Okay, so Foley's on the list now. So we got 2 spots left.
I say we just run the names. We all agree.
Let's see. Okay, let's go to. I think we got to cut Vince though. Honestly, I'm sorry, but looking at the list,
yeah, I think so too.
Vince is great on the mic, but I think he's got to. I think he's got to go.
I'm gonna eat this L, man. But just know, folks, I was not happy. Mr. McMahon, if I ever get the opportunity to work for you, or if you ever want to, collaborate, please know that I did not do this. It was Kyron and Malik.
Oh, come on.
Bring those two in here. We're gonna embarrass them at WrestleMania.
You can't embarrass them. Yeah.
All right. So let me see. Looking at, you got Paul Heyman, Jake the Snake, John Cena, Jericho, and Hogan. Out of all these 5, let's see. We got Heyman, Jericho, Cena, Jake the Snake, and Hogan. Out of these 5, which one?
All right. Who's next to make your list? Like, they got to be on here.
Heyman.
I think Jericho.
Heyman.
I want Heyman to Jericho. I think Heyman has to be. Like I said, he's a master selling the match. Like,
let's do it this way. Out of all these 5, which one would you not? This one person. Which one would you not like? You're not voting for. Like you're not putting. You don't see him on the list.
Again.
Between Paul Heyman, Jake the Snake, Hulk Hogan, John Cena, and Chris Jericho.
That's a tough one because all five are important in different ways. Like Cena and Jericho, two of my top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time, and Heyman is my favorite promo guy. So those three in general are 3 I'm most biased toward. Hogan is such a big star that you can't really like knock him completely, and Jake was such a different animal when it came to his promos. All 5 have legitimate arguments to be in the list, so this is tough. All right, here's the question. Malik, who are you
I'll
not
throw the
voting
first
for?
name out there. I think I'm not voting for Hogan. I'll throw it out there. I'm not voting for Hogan.
I got Cena on mine. If I had to pick one, Cena's crappy promos kill him to me.
I got Hogan, to be honest.
Yo,
you're gonna get outvoted here,
jump right
now.
What is this? What is this?
Well, you also got to take into account our age, Conrad. We're not.
I know we need another old head on here.
I'm not
Alden and wants to talk wrestling.
See, I respect old. That's why I still got Jake, even though Hogan's the biggest star.
If I had to drop between Hogan and Jake the Snake, I'm dropping Hogan. So I'll rock with this one again.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
I'm not gonna let Jake the Snake go then.
It's hard to let some people you love go. Like I'm not letting Heyman go. I'll be honest, and this is some straight up serious stuff right here. Even though John Cena's my favorite wrestler, I'm picking Heyman over Cena. I'm not letting Heyman go. Can't hear you, Malik.
Can't hear a word.
Too. I mean, Cena has his bad promos, but can you hear me?
Yeah.
Let's. So we got Jericho, we got Cena, we got Jake the Snake, and we got Heyman.
How many spots we got left?
Woo! Stuff. Okay. We got 2 spots left. If we had to cut one, I'm gonna have to cut John Cena.
I'm gonna have to cut him too. He's my favorite wrestler, but I gotta cut him. I'm sorry. Yeah. This hurts me. I'm sorry, John, but you gotta go.
Don't worry, I got the scissors right here. You could blame me for this one.
All right, so now we got 2 spots left. We got Paul Heyman, Jake the Snake, and Chris Jericho. Okay, so let's run through them before we make decisions. So let's run through Paul Heyman, and then we'll go down the list. So, Colin, Paul Heyman on the list. Why do you think Heyman should be on the list, or why should he be on the list?
All right, I'm actually gonna say this now. I've literally made every argument I can make possibly for Heyman, but I'm gonna switch. So obviously, I think Heyman should be on the list. I'm actually gonna move to someone we haven't really debated much, but I think Jericho should be on the list more than I think Heyman and Jericho should take these last 2 spots over Jake because. Like I said before, look at everything, the things Jericho has gotten. No, we talk about, even though his catchphrase on his spot, let's say The Rock to Hogan, look at how many phrases Jericho got over. I mean, how many other men can get a list over, a scarf over, the word it? How many people can get the word stupid idiot over for crying out loud? Like, literally, those are the type of reasons why I think Jericho is so good on mic. The thing is, he has different, like, you could be like the Rockstar Jericho or the late 2000s, the early 2000s. You got his serious gimmick from 08. And especially in 08 during that feud with Shawn. Then you got the stuff he do. It helped. Even the stuff he's doing in New Japan with Kenny Omega. I think Jericho should definitely Jericho Heyman my last 2 for this list.
First big signing for AEW. It's gonna go down in history that they signed some old dude that WWE's had for years that no one thought would leave. Why? Because he's crazy freaking Jericho. Jericho's on my list. I don't know how you feel about it, Malik, but I agree. Jericho, I think, makes it.
I think Jericho.
All right, I'm with you guys. I think Jericho should be on the list too.
My argument, this is where it's going to get tough. Do you pick Paul Heyman or Jake the Snake for me?
Paul Heyman for me. I'm sorry. It's Paul.
I'm going Paul Heyman.
I got to go Paul Heyman on this one. I'm sorry, Conrad, but
man, Heyman, I feel like you guys are shitting on Jake the Snake.
I'm not. See, this thing, I'm not. I'm definitely not. Like I said before. Like, this is why.
On the promo, I think Paul Heyman's better at it. I think he's better at it when it comes to selling matches and stuff like that.
Here's the thing, Conrad. This is how you know I'm not trying to shit on Jake the Snake. I literally took him over my favorite wrestler for crying out loud. Like, literally, I literally was, like I said, I brought up the fact that Jake was such a different, unique promo guy at the time. But the reason I take Heyman, like I said, he's the message on the mat. But also, there is not, maybe other than The Rock, there's not a single wrestler, a person in history that I've literally like been sitting down doing nothing, just listening to that promo other than Paul Heyman. Heyman's literally the only person who, when he talks, I like, especially when at his best, you listen to every single word he says. That's why I got to put Heyman on this list.
Okay.
I'm trying to put
this all together in my brain here. Hold on. because I'm trying to remember memorable Jake the Snake Roberts promos.
See, I got about 8 of Heyman's in my. I got like 4 Heyman's right in my head. So
I'm thinking maybe we should try to see if we can go back and forth on this. I remember the snake pit with the honky tonk man, where Jake the Snake got hit over the head with the guitar for WrestleMania 3. He had a good promo with Ravishing Rick Rude over his wife being on Rick Rude's trunks when Rick Rude was shaking the hips. I like Rick Martel promo where he sprayed the cologne or arrogance in his eye, and then he had the white contact in there, so they had the blindfold match. I'm just trying to think about Randy Savage where he slapped Elizabeth. Okay, go ahead, man. Hit me with the. Go ahead, man. Convince me.
Okay, let's see. His shoot promo on Vince, his promo at ECW One Night Stand 05, his promo against Eric Bischoff leading up to it when he talked about Eric bring all you have, because if you step into our house, you're gonna start a fire that you can't put out. And he lit the black rosary on fire. I mean, not rosary, the black bouquet of flowers on fire. You have what else we have? Oh, his promo about Roman Reigns and how Roman, like, basically saying Roman Reigns is epic. He's great, and literally anyone else in that prime other than Brock Lesnar would take. And then I remember he brought up everyone, and then someone yelled Andre. He said, "Yeah, I know I didn't bring up Andre because he's dead, stupid." And then at the end, he just said, Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, you're going to get your ass beat by Brock Lesnar. You're going to get beat up by Brock Lesnar. You're going to get hurt by Brock Lesnar. You're going to be conquered by Brock Lesnar. His promo against The Undertaker leading up to SummerSlam 2015 when Brock was standing on the steps. When he talked about how Undertaker had wrestled as Undertaker. Last time you needed an ambulance. This time you're going to leave last right of your career. Because you, Undertaker, if met your match, because you are going to Suplex City at the hands of my beast, your conqueror, Brock Lesnar. And finally, and I'm not even done, but this is the last one I need to bring up. His promo the night of WrestleMania 30 at the Brock End of the Street, how he just took the fans, like, even when they were chanting what? He even said, Brock Lesnar conquered the street. He said, and you had the nerve to doubt the greatest manager in sports entertainment. And here's one thing. The sickest man I know, this man got into an ambulance and left with The Undertaker because the smartest thing The Undertaker did was not kick out, because if he had kicked out, then this television would change from black and white, because Brock Lesnar would not have stopped till the streak was dead. I'm sorry, but I've just named about.
And you got to think too, and Brock Lesnar does his job in the ring, but Paul Heyman does his job at selling Brock Lesnar as the monster that he is.
John, I know you saw me tap. Give it to Heyman. I'm gonna let Heyman go in. Jake, I apologize, my man. You're still one of my favorites. I need another old head on here.
I love Jake Snake too, man. Like,
I do. I really love Jake, but there's not a single person I love on the mic more than Paul Heyman in history. So I was about to fight to the death for Paul Heyman.
I mean, Paul Heyman he has to be on the list, man. Like, I mean, no disrespect to Jake the Snake, but I mean,
yeah, no disrespect.
You talk about one of the best at selling matches, putting ass in seats, and just making everything believable. Paul Heyman is one of the best at it, man.
So, what's our final list?
Like I said, he does. All right, so we got The Rock, Randy Savage, Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, Roddy Piper, Stone Cold, CM Punk, Mick Foley, Chris Jericho, and Paul Heyman.
That's a good list, to be honest. Even though, like, that was a hard list to come up with, because there's so much stuff we're not gonna agree with. Like literally, I said I gave up on Cena, but I was gonna fight for Heyman. I wasn't giving Heyman up.
I'm solid with this list. I like it.
Yeah, I'm solid too, especially because a lot of people, and like I said, it's probably still some people we didn't even bring up.
I'm a little teary-eyed over a couple guys, but it's all right.
I know you wanted Jake, man, but I wasn't letting Paul go.
Jake, I'm sad that Vincent Hogan didn't make it either, though. I really think that Hogan is a lot better than people give him credit for, and it's probably one of the things they won't appreciate till later.
Probably.
He is. I mean, he's not. Look at between the guys they have on the list, dude. I don't know if he's better than the guys we got on the list. Like the 10 guys that we have on the list right now.
I just want to show something last night from my NXT review, though. When the Velveteen Dream hulked up, people knew what to say. Like, that man controls you like you. And
I did it too. Even I did it. But here's one thing, Conrad. You jokingly say you need some more old heads on this here, but look at the list. We got Savage, Piper, Flair, Dusty. That's already 4 people like from the 70s and 80s right there.
Yeah. They're just.
But you gotta think Mick Foley, Stone Cold, and The Rock. That's 90s. That's all 90s wrestlers right there too.
Is that the only modern day person? I mean, look, the only modern day person we have is Punk.
And maybe Heyman. I guess you could consider Heyman too.
You can throw Jericho in it.
Jericho.
Yeah.
It's a pretty split, even list though. If you actually think about it, each era's probably got 3 people.
I mean, no matter who we said, we're gonna probably piss. I mean, especially if this video gets a lot of views, we're probably gonna piss some people off for certain people we didn't even bring up.
I mean, I have no problem with this list. I mean, some of these people were unanimous. Like, I was gonna have The Rock on there.
Yeah, we all knew it.
Dusty, Piper. Mick Foley was like you mentioned though. As soon as I thought about him, I was like, he's got to be on the list.
Don't worry, Malik.
He convinced me with Foley. I forgot about the Cactus Jack promo when he came down. I remember that promo when he takes the mask off. That was what told me. I'm like, yeah, he's got to be on just for that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I know my stuff.
Every character he had got over, man. I mean, every whether he was Do Love or Mankind or Cactus Jack, or even if he was Mick Foley, this Mick Foley was the man.
Over from promos.
Exactly, man. I mean, especially, bro, Mankind's my favorite characters. Those Mankind promos, dude, are like when he's just like rocking back and forth and like in like that little, and he's like in the backstage area and like in the little where he's at in the garage, something just
boiler room,
back and forth and just cutting in the boiler room. Yeah, he's just talking the way he talks, bro. Mick Foley's got to be on here, dude. He's so good at selling stuff too. So
rest in peace, George the Rat.
I'm cool with the list. I'm gonna let you guys give your channels out there, and then we're gonna go ahead and sign off. So we'll start with Kyron, and then we'll go to Conrad.
Follow me on Twitter, SplashBroKyron. My Instagram, SplashBro_Kyron. My Tumblr and DeviantArt, Kyron Chase. YouTube account, Kyron Chase. I do videos on wrestling. I do videos on Sonic the Hedgehog. I do videos on Sonic, My Pony Friendship is Magic. And with season 9 being the last season of MLP, and with the season premiering today, I might have a video on it today on my channel. You never know.
All right, Conrad.
Malik, Kyron, thank you for having me on. I love talking wrestling with you two. Always a good time. Later tonight, probably within a couple hours, I will be doing a review for the G1 Supercard. I am not watching the Hall of Fame tonight. WWE, suck it. Nobody cares about Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Damn.
Also, make sure you check that out. And check me out on Twitter at EPW Show. Check out Brainbuster Radio. I could plug a million things. Just follow me on Twitter and you'll see everything to where it pops up. Thank you once again for having me on here.
All right, so tomorrow's going to be a long-ass day.
Tell me about it.
Because WrestleMania.
I feel like we're going to work for 8 hours.
Dude, I already scheduled work already. There's no way I'm coming in. It's going to be great. I'm not about to go to work and they watch WrestleMania. I'm going to be this too much. So tomorrow's going to be a long day, but hopefully, I hope it's a good show though, man. I mean, I hate when WrestleMania, especially WrestleMania, nobody wants to see a bad WrestleMania, you know what I mean? So I hope it's a good show, but next week's debate is not going to be wrestling related. Next week we're going to do NBA, top 10 greatest NBA players of all time. So next week's going to be NBA, same time. You already know, if people watch, you already know the time. Make sure you guys tune into that next week. And make sure you guys watch WrestleMania tomorrow if you can stay awake. Make sure you guys go check out their channels, go subscribe, and we're out.
Peace.